Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Figma number 354 KIRITO, which is the ordinal scale version, which a lot of people asked me to review, and I was like, okay, that is my job, so I'll go ahead and review it. I was going to buy it anyway. I wasn't going to review it, but you guys asked, so here it is. This figure is mostly the same as the figure we've already seen, so I'm going to kind of go through it pretty quickly, but you should still get all the information you need to get. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand so that we can take a closer look. This guy stands right around 14 centimeters, which makes him just about 5.5 inches. Of course, if you straightened his legs up completely, he might gain just a tiny little bit, but that's a pretty close measurement. As far as the paint job goes on this guy, it is really clean. Those white lines are, even for a Figma, particularly good. I know sometimes Figma stuff is just spot on, and sometimes it's a little wobbly. This one's mostly really good. It's got a couple of spots here and there that aren't quite perfect, but for the most part, it is really solid. And of course, the face paint is good. They always do a good job with that. And then the rest of it's pretty much just molded various blacks and gray plastics, but it's still really clean looking, so that's good. As far as accessories go, we have 3 different faces. The one smiling face that comes on him in the package, one where he's kind of frowning, and then one where he's trying to take a bite out of something. Or he could be yelling, I'm not sure. Who am I to say? He has 2 fist hands that come on him in the package. We have 2 sword gripping hands at angles, 2 that are pretty much squared up and down, and then 2 individual hands for jazz hands. For the swords, we do have the 2 standard swords that come in their scabbards. That's pretty cool. They, of course, can be removed. And then we have this big-ass sword, which is done really nicely with the little bit of translucent plastic with the orb floating in the middle down there. Very well executed. We have 2 different sets of peg/grippy thingies for the swords to go on his back, so you can do either the 2 normal swords or just one of them. And then we do have the 2 slash effects for the swords, which were way too heavy last time. I think they might have tightened up his wrists a little bit, so we'll see about that. But still, the effects are really cool. You just have to worry about balancing and weight issues. And then lastly, we have our standard Figma display stand. Can't go wrong with that. Now, as far as this guy goes, articulation-wise, it's all pretty much your standard run-of-the-mill Figma articulation. We have our ball hinge, ball peg, peg combo built into the neck, so you can look up and down, no problem at all. Rotation's a little tough. I'm not sure what they did. Actually, I am. They recessed. Let me just pull the hair off so you can see. Instead of explaining it to you, I'll explain it to you, but I'll show you at the same time. If I can get the hair off, goodness, I can't do it. I can't do it. Goodness, seriously, I can't get it off. That's what she said? Okay, the head is now off. So we have, okay, so there's a straight peg. No ball peg involved in this one. I swear there was in the first one, maybe not. Straight peg going into the back of the head, which lets it lean side to side. Straight peg going straight down into the neck. But look at that. They recessed the hinge. And the hinge is not a sphere. It's ovular, so you can't rotate it. So that sucks. They totally screwed this neck articulation up. All right, so that's good to know. Maybe that's how it was the first time. I don't remember that being that bad, but you can pretty much just look up and down and lean side to side, which is kind of weird. The collar is a soft piece, so it wouldn't have gotten in the way, but they screwed it up anyway. For the shoulders, no extending or anything, just your standard ball peg and then a hinge for the shoulder itself, so that's good. And then you have the straight peg going down into the bicep, so you get your bicep swivel out of that. For the elbows, a single joint. Again, it's ovular, so you don't really have a lot of rotation in there, but you do get a little bit. And then for the wrists, the hinge is built into the hand, so you just have a swivel where they peg into the coat, and then the hinge in the hand. For the diaphragm joint, is there not one? Gosh, I thought I remembered this figure more. I guess there's not. There's just a ball peg at the crotch. So he does not have a mid-torso joint, as far as I can tell. I swear there was one, but it doesn't feel like it. That's weird. Okay, it's weird how how my brain works. I don't know how yours works. We do have hinges, of course, just like the elbows for the coat, so they can rotate a little bit, but they're mostly just going to hinge. I think that's okay, though. The crotch is a floating piece. Okay, I remembered that correctly. We have the ball pegs for the hips with the sockets in the thighs, and then you have the thigh swivel on top of that. So you can pretty much pose his legs however you want to. You're not going to have any issue with that, other than where the jacket is. So obviously that's going to be a thing. For the knees, you get a single jointed knee, which works pretty well. It's still pretty ugly because the plastics are different, so the kind of like matte, actually it's more of a flat, kind of grayish black, and then you have a satin black for the knee. It doesn't look great. It'll do, but it's not great. For the ankles, you have this floating piece, which is the top part of the boot, and then you have your standard Figma hinge, which gives you pretty good range forward and back, and you can rotate it around a little bit to get an ankle rocker, but not too much. It doesn't really want to go. I'm guessing it's because they recessed it too much. So it looks nice. It's a pretty mediocre figure in terms of the way Figma can handle their figures. Sometimes they just knock it out of the park. Sometimes it's a total turd. This is probably on the better side of mediocre, but not by too far. So I don't know, guys. I'll have a thing on the screen talking about the wrists holding the things. I'm going to pose this guy around for the photos and let you know about that. But as far as I can tell, it's pretty much the exact same figure as before, just with a new sword. So that's going to really come down to if you want to buy it or not. But I don't know. It's okay. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It'll do. If you're a big KIRITO fan, then go ahead and get it. If you're not, then don't. And that'll do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.